This is always the weirdest part for me, is like setting up the shot, because it feels like awkward for the talent too, you know?
I just love the talent. It's over my head. You know working with me after this. My name is Valerie Korn. I'm the Quality Lab Manager for Net Bio Renewables. There were 3 employees that participated in the film, myself and Regina and Robert. Regina was a little bit skittish at first, and she wanted to make sure that she had ample time to make sure she came to work with her hair and makeup done, but I think overall we all had fun with it.
Amazing.
I just met Tabitha Davis as a director in this scenario. I would have thought she'd been doing it her entire life. I would have thought that she had so many credentials on her IMDb page that she'd done every commercial probably I'd ever seen, because of all the stuff. She's incredibly knowledgeable about her craft, and I would definitely recommend her. And she just made the entire process mind-blowingly smooth, but also like fun and educational.
There's a lot going on in making a movie. There's a lot of emotions happening right then. A lot of love and time went into it, you know? So when you see everything falling apart piece by piece, it's hard to, stay in the game and put on, that hat and get in there, coach, but you do it.
I think overall the film has gone very, very well so far. There's been a couple hiccups, but that's expected with any film that you have.
The most impactful takeaway for me from this experience is the forethought that goes into literally everything, from the clothes that you wear to how your clothes fall to the certain direction that you walk, and how you have to take into account things that people overlook all the time, like, is the lighting good? Is there a good acoustic in whatever place it is that you're shooting? So overall, I was just blown away by how nuanced something as simple that we take for granted because we have phones that record as a recording for a commercial could be. In my company, my official title is the Quality Control Lab Manager, but I've also taken over formulation development and all of our research and development for new products. So I think the biggest takeaway is that we want to make this world a better place for our children, and the best place to do that, and the best place to start, is by replacing things that people throw away every day. So we're taking things like another thing that's taken for granted, say straws or forks or paper plates. Those things are terrible, and if you use a paper straw just because it says BPA, that doesn't mean that the inks or the dyes they use in that paper straw are BPA free. So they're riddled with harmful things, carcinogens, and we're kind of just taking the earth back one step at a time. We're presenting a cost efficient, maybe it's a little pricier, but we're giving you options. You don't have to, if you want a straw really badly, you don't have to suffer through a polypropylene. We can give you one that'll decompose and compose and actually be good for the environment.
The most impactful thing is knowing that this is a job, that I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to do a job and get the job done the best I can in a timely manner. So if something goes wrong, I don't need to take it personal. I can just, roll with the punch and figure out what the next move is and go from there.
Just be prepared for the unexpected. Anything could really happen. Like, we were prepared, but any last minute things can happen that you wouldn't think. Like I said, I had to fill in for one of the talent at one point. When we were at the beach filming, we didn't realize how windy it was going to be. So Tabitha getting in the kayak was not as easy as we thought it was going to be, but it was still fun. She made it work, and she did a great job at it. That's probably one of the best shots that we have so far. But just be prepared for anything. Think on your toes.
So I like to be an over planner. I kind of plan for that situation in any set or a project I do, just because there are always things that come up. People get sick. It's happened. So that wasn't a big surprise. We just substituted, made sure our continuity was straight, and just Ashley jumped right in there and made it happen.
Overall, I think it was very well planned out. I was super impressed with all the technology and stuff. You really don't think that much goes into a commercial, and then you see it and you're like, wow. It's a very sophisticated process and very detail oriented.
She switched the room where she decided to make the delivery truck. It was probably one of the smartest moves she could have done. It turned out so much better than we had ever even hoped it would turn out. It looked so good on camera. It is unreal. And she created it just by doing the initial walkthrough when we went to the factory and were just checking things out and kind of getting an idea of where we wanted to set up at. And The second she saw it, she just fell in love with it, and she just could not go on without making that scene happen. It was one of the best scenes of the entire thing. Yeah, it was definitely explained properly and professionally. She was making sure that when the talent needed to be doing a certain thing or walking a certain way, holding something a certain way, she explained why it needed to be that way, explained how it needed to be done, and so they knew what was expected of them before they started, and so it enabled the production to run so much smoother than it could have if she didn't have the great communication skills that she does.
Pause.
There was so much planning and organization that went into this entire production. That's probably why the favorite part of the whole thing is just getting to see it from beginning to end, from all the different camera work and setups and lighting plots and camera reports. I mean, it's unreal the amount of work that directors and producers have to do behind the scenes that nobody realizes. That's what really makes an entire production run as smooth as it did, and it really paid off this production. First thing for me personally that happened on set was falling into the ocean very unexpectedly. I learned that I should probably get most of the equipment off of the boat before we start filming, so I don't have to go back in an attempt to jump in the boat and continue to fall in the water halfway through the shoot. Definitely a learning experience for me. It's definitely kind of fun at the same time, but yeah, that was definitely probably the biggest lesson learned right there.
Endurance and drive that my little two-man crew has. We are like the little engine that could. We don't stop until the job's done. We get in there, we know what we're getting, we knock the shots out. Communication with the company was a little rocky at the beginning. We ironed out the dates, and then, it changed.
I think that you did a tremendous job, and I think that, especially since we had a reschedule for the reshoot for planning on our part, where we scheduled a compounding trial. You rolled with the punches. You worked around production. You weren't in anyone's way. You were efficient, and everything was so well planned that I was just very, very profoundly impressed with your professionalism.
Personally, I've always been one that likes kind of working in smaller teams. To me, the communication is a lot stronger. You don't have to go through so many different avenues and have the risk of something getting taken in the wrong context or getting switched up by somebody else. And the connection and the teamwork that we had, we meshed together very, very well. And so with it just being the two people, it worked out, I think, better that way. And I think the production actually ran a little bit smoother. Well, for this one at least, it did.
Especially, I think the biggest takeaway from our product is that it's filled with oolitic aragonite, and so that is calcium carbonate, but it's not like mined calcium carbonate. We're not taking something from the earth that can't be put back. We are getting calcium carbonate that blooms in the Bahamas, and it's kind of better in that it's proteinaceous and it's skeletal. It has amino acids in it, so it acts as a natural pH buffer. So when our straws do decompose, they're helping make